Ever wonder if you're more attractive than you give yourself credit for? Today, we're uncovering the obscure signs that you're an attractive guy, signs you might be completely missing. These subtle hints from the way people around you behave to the little things they say can reveal a lot more than you might expect. We're diving deep into the unnoticed affirmations of your appeal that might just boost your confidence. Before we start, anyone looking to revamp their dating approach? Click the link below for a free 60-minute strategy call with one of our coaches. 1. People remember you. The first obscure sign that you're an attractive guy is that people tend to remember you, even after brief interactions. Think about the last time you were at a social event or a work function. Did people you'd only met briefly come up to you later and continue your conversation? Did they recall specific details about what you'd discussed, even if it had been a while? If so, that's a strong indicator that you made a positive, lasting impression on them. When we find someone attractive, and this can be physical, intellectual, or emotional attractiveness, we tend to pay more attention to them. We're more engaged in the interaction, and as a result, the details stick in our minds. This is especially noteworthy if you're someone who considers yourself more introverted or low-key. You might not be the loudest or most outgoing person in the room, but if people are still remembering you and seeking you out, it suggests that there's something about you that's quietly captivating. So the next time someone references a conversation you had weeks ago, or remembers your name after meeting you just once, take it as a compliment. It's a sign that your presence lingers in people's minds, and that's a hallmark of an attractive individual. 2. Effort to maintain contact. Another subtler sign of your attractiveness is when people make a concerted effort to keep in touch with you. In today's busy world, most of us are juggling a multitude of responsibilities and relationships. It's easy for connections to fall by the wayside, especially if they're not a top priority. So when someone goes out of their way to maintain contact with you, it's a sign that they value your presence in their life. This might look like friends consistently inviting you to events, even if you don't always attend. It could be coworkers or classmates reaching out to you for advice or just to chat, even when you don't work together closely. It could even be someone you met briefly, like at a conference or on vacation, making an effort to stay connected via social media or occasional messages. When people make this kind of effort, it's because they find you interesting, engaging, and yes, attractive. They enjoy your company and your conversation, and they don't want to lose that connection. So if you find that people seem to gravitate back to you, even without a lot of prompting on your part, take it as a positive sign. You're someone that people want to be around, and that's a key component of attractiveness. 3. People get jealous. A more subtle and sometimes uncomfortable sign of your attractiveness is when people in your life exhibit signs of jealousy. This often manifests in the context of your interactions with others. For example, you might be talking to someone at a party and notice your friend hovering nearby, trying to insert themselves into the conversation. Or you might mention a new connection you've made, only to be met with a cool response or a change of subject from your usual confidant. While jealousy is never a pleasant experience, in this context it can be an indicator that others perceive you as attractive and desirable. They see the ease with which you connect with new people, or the attention you receive, and it triggers a sense of insecurity or possessiveness. It's important to note that this isn't about inspiring jealousy intentionally or reveling in others' discomfort. Rather, it's about recognizing that sometimes the negative reactions of others can be a reflection of your own positive qualities. If you do notice signs of jealousy from friends or acquaintances, the best approach is usually to address it kindly but directly. Reassure those close to you of their importance, while also setting healthy boundaries around your autonomy and your right to connect with others. 4. Others adjust their appearance. A fascinating and often overlooked sign of your attractiveness is when people subtly adjust their appearance in your presence. Picture this. You're at a cafe, and you glance over at the person at the next table. As soon as they catch your eye, they straighten their posture, smooth their hair, or adjust their clothing. Or maybe you're in a meeting at work, and as you start to speak, you notice your colleagues sitting up a bit straighter, or fiddling with their tie or jewelry. These small, seemingly unconscious adjustments are often a sign that people are aware of your presence and want to present themselves in the best light. It's a way of saying, I see you and I want you to see me in a positive way. Interestingly, this behavior isn't always romantically motivated. It can happen in professional settings, among friends, even with strangers. It's a natural human response to being in the presence of someone we find attractive or impressive. Of course, it's not about being hyper-aware of others' every move, or assuming that every adjustment is about you. But if you notice this happening consistently, especially from multiple people, it's a good indication that you have a compelling presence that people respond to. even if they're not fully aware of it. So the next time you catch someone fixing their hair as you walk by, or straightening their shirt as you start a conversation, take it as a quiet compliment. Your attractiveness is shining through, even in the most subtle of moments. If these tips are helping you, imagine what a personalized strategy session could do. Click the like button, drop us a comment, and don't forget to book your free strategy call to discover how to meet more women and date with assurance. The link is in the pinned comment. 5. People seem interested in your life. Another sign that you're more attractive than you might think is when people show a genuine interest in your life and your passions. This goes beyond the polite, "What do you do?" questions that are common in social settings. When someone is truly interested in you, they'll ask more in-depth, specific questions. They'll want to know about your hobbies, your goals, your opinions on various topics. They'll listen attentively to your answers and follow up with further questions or comments. This kind of interest is a sign that people find you engaging and want to know more about what makes you tick. They're drawn to your energy and your unique perspective, and they want to understand you better. Importantly, this interest isn't always expressed in a bold, obvious way. Some people, especially those who are more introverted, might show their interest through quiet attentiveness, or by remembering details you've shared and bringing them up in later conversations. If you find that people often ask you thoughtful questions, remember what you've told them, and seem genuinely invested in your responses, take it as a positive sign. You're someone that people want to know and understand. And that's a key component of attractiveness. Of course, it's important to reciprocate this interest and to be genuinely curious about others in return. Attractiveness isn't just about being interesting, but also about being interested. By engaging deeply with those around you, you'll not only confirm their positive impression, but also build stronger, more authentic connections. 6. Strangers start conversations with you. Think about your daily life. When you're running errands, waiting in line, or just out and about, do people often strike up conversations with you, even when you're not necessarily trying to engage? Do you find yourself having friendly chats with the cashier, the person next to you on the train, or someone you've just met at an event? If so, it's a sign that there's something about you that people find approachable and appealing. You give off a vibe that makes people feel comfortable talking to you, even if they don't know you. This isn't necessarily about being outgoing or talkative yourself. Even if you're more on the quiet side, if strangers still feel drawn to engage with you, it suggests that you have a warm, welcoming presence. Of course, it's important to note that context matters here. In some settings, like a networking event or a party, conversation with strangers is expected. But if you find that these impromptu chats happen in more neutral, everyday spaces, it's a stronger indication of your innate attractiveness. So the next time a stranger strikes up a friendly conversation, take it as a compliment. Your approachability and appeal are shining through, inviting connection even in the most unexpected moments. 7. Strangers smile at you frequently. The final obscure sign of your attractiveness is perhaps the simplest, but also one of the most telling. Strangers smile at you often. Think about when you're walking down the street, browsing in a store, or sitting in a park. Do you notice people catching your eye and offering a friendly smile, even if you haven't interacted? Do you find yourself sharing these momentary connections with people you've never met? If so, it's a strong sign that you have an attractive presence. Smiling is a universal sign of warmth, approval, and connection. When strangers smile at you, they're indicating that something about you, your appearance, your energy, your vibe, is positive and appealing. Importantly, these smiles are distinct from the polite, professional smiles you might exchange with a service worker or a colleague. They're more genuine, more spontaneous. The kind of smile that arises unbidden when we see something that pleases us. Of course, it's not about keeping count of every grin thrown your way, but if you notice that you seem to attract more than your fair share of friendly faces, take it as a quiet indication of your own attractiveness. And remember, the best way to capitalize on this sign is to return those smiles in kind. By meeting warmth with warmth, positivity with positivity, you amplify your own appealing qualities and invite even more connection and approval. So now that you know the obscure signs you're attractive, what's next for you? Discover the guaranteed signs she's checking you out, or learn what she says when she has a high sex drive. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.